Good morning, Nigeria. Good morning, Ogun State. Good morning, Lagos State. Good morning to the WFM crew. Good morning to our daily news review family. Time check, it is 30 minutes past 8 this beautiful Thursday morning, Thursday, the 6th of August, 2026. And this is the daily news review where we run through the headlines and tackle the ones that catches our attention. While we wait for the analysts to join, I will be taking the headlines. This is Women Radio FM 91.7. From the Punch newspaper, NDA faults EFCC as Osun account free tax. Wow. Okay, so account the governorship of Osun State was frozen yesterday by the EFCC, and the EFCC on Wednesday night, which was yesterday, defended its decision to freeze the Osun State government's bank account, insisting that the action was aimed at stopping the alleged diversion of about 11 billion naira in public funds under investigation and was not connected with the state's forthcoming governorship election. The anti-graft agency said it stepped in after. Oh, good morning, Sumbo. How are you this morning?
Good morning. I'm good, Nima.
Oh, nice seeing you today. Okay, so I'm taking the headlines from Punch newspaper that says the EFCC says Osun State government's account, and the EFCC was saying yesterday in defense that the account being frozen is that there was what's the right English? They had an allegedly diversion of 11 billion funds that is not related to the governorship election coming up. And yesterday also the Attorney General of Osun State came out to say it is beyond the power of the EFCC to ban to freeze the account of the Osun State government. What's the reason?
Well, it's a very interesting case. Um, First and foremost, I think the number one problem that the average Nigerian has with that is the timing. How convenient is it? Elections are just, I'm not sure it's up to 2 weeks away, you know, and then here comes the EFCC. What was the EFCC doing all this while? Okay, so I mean, anybody who knows the way they play the politics in Nigeria would know that this is a political move. If Adeleke had been an APC member, nobody is going to be talking about any stupid EFCC investigation at all. Not to talk about this timing. Number two for me would be, why focus on Osun State? The investigation that you have done in Osun, have you done it in every other state? Okay, so for me, I mean, the APC, the ruling government is going so low. Okay, and what they are doing, they are not even conscious of the effects security wise. Because as far as I'm concerned, if you continue this nonsense and election take place, I'm not sure you're going to see a peaceful election at all, because the people are going to react. So why must every state come under the control of APC?
Hmm.
So for me, it's arrant nonsense, and I think that the EFCC should eat the humble pie and just back off. But I don't know. First and foremost, what instigated this investigation? Number one, you withheld the local government funds. This man, at the helm of affairs in Osun, I understand, was literally paying staff, from personal means. That is there. You are not saying anything about that. And then a few days to election, you are coming out to say you are freezing the accounts of an entire state. Who are you punishing? So when you freeze the accounts, what do you expect? How do you expect the government to run? I I really don't understand it.
And also from the punch, FG targets mid also outstanding. Moving on to the Osun needs jobs, infrastructure, not politics. Says Oluchi. 18,660 tons of waste. Moving to the diesel newspaper, opposition must unite to stop APC from holding power. Writing on tells PDP leaders. Somebody thing to say about this.
I mean, I don't know what it is, but you're not very, very audible. You're not very clear.
Okay, let me explain myself. The opposition
Your voice is still in a state.
is actually loud. People have been hearing me well.
Okay, go
Can
ahead.
you
Go ahead.
opposition should to stop APC from holding Amici tells PDP leaders. Also from the this day, Healthcare Providers Association of Nigeria rejects proposed NHSRA from the trust. One killed, two
Y-
injured, and say
You are
something.
cracking up, Ramotula. I don't know what it is, but the connection, well, I don't know if it's at my end, but the connection is not clear at all. So I can barely pick you. I first said something about your opposition, trying to stop APC. That's all I heard. And then I heard about health workers or something. Then I heard, some people die. It's not clear. You're not coming out clear.
Excuse me.
uh For instance, now you are inaudible. uh,
Window. Can you hear me?
no. It's crack, it's breaking. I will hear a few words and then you will break and then come back again.
Try to rejoin because I can hear you clearly.
Okay, let me come off and then come back again.
Okay, thank you. From the Just newspaper, one killed, two injured in Leeds multi crash, vehicle crash. Kwara abductees regain freedom after 6 months in captivity. Moving on to the Vanguard newspaper, NBC blasts FG over Ocean frozen funds. FG to establish 6 regional autism centers as allows major reforms. Moving on to the Premium Times, military declares top ISWAP commanders wanted following intelligence from recovered devices. Inside corruption trial that sent ex-minister Mamman to record 75 years in prison. Hi, Subo, can you hear me?
I I can, but the problem is that the audio is breaking up and coming back. So I really don't know why that is so. And from my end, you appear to be muted. I don't know what that is all about, but there's the mute sign here, even though you are audible, but it's not, it's breaking up. The audio is breaking up.
Okay. I I guess we're having network issues, but I'm trying to be more on so to pick what so APC launches 100 training to tackle reading and ensure victory. 2027 ABC Secretary quit joins PDP to back Bami's governorship bid. Moving on to the Kenyan newspaper, police arrests 19 suspects over kidnapping, find possession fake dollar notes in Kaduna. Afili's are APC candidates for the seats. Next to the news, Lagos never its its people in two states since rules. Troops capture another suspected terrorist informant in Adamawa. Moving on to the Tribune, PSLPCP crew preparatory board tries to appear before its panel Thursday. Spoke six over alleged distribution of unapproved medicines and from newspaper this morning. Anti-Crimes Commission freezes Osun State government account of to court. 76 abducted victims in Kwara State regain freedom 6 months after abduction. As of from the National Dailies this morning, you can do well to get yourself a copy of Stick with Us as we analyze. Then we're live on YouTube at WFM917.com, or you can listen to us on the go via our website at www.wfm917.com. You can text or send a WhatsApp message or even voice note to 08155 917 917 or 07031 756 537. The phone lines will be open shortly, but in the meantime, here are the numbers 0800 1235 917 or 07000 917 917 or 09155 917 917. Okay, Sumbo, can you hear me well now?
It's much better now.
Okay. I think I have to continue raising my voice because of the network issues. Okay, so we'll continue from the reaction to the EFCC freezing the account of the Osun State government. Like I said earlier, the developments elicited angry reactions as Governor Adeleke of the Accord Party, as African Democratic Congress and legal practitioners faulted the move. The governor also said he had instructed his Attorney General and Commissioner of Justice to challenge the action in court. And if I am to quote you, Sumbo, you said that APC cannot be the only recognized party in Nigeria. They should have to accept that yes, there are other parties who are the opposition. And when we were talking about the EFCC with our analysts, was it last Tuesday or Friday? We talked about it being that the sitting president might have employed some people, put some people in seats in that position in the EFCC. So my question to you this morning is that do you think there's hanky panky going on in the EFCC? Because it's so weird that days to the election.
You know, I like.
Oh, I'm
Go
listening.
ahead.
I'm listening.
Yeah, like I said earlier on, you know, it it appears to be in bad taste. You know, it is highly political. Anyone can tell that. The timing, you know, tells us that this is a political move and not just that, you know, the AFCC is trying to show that they're doing their work, they're efficient, but I don't agree with them. First and foremost, like I said, the timing is in bad taste. If you, I mean, what were they waiting for all this while? And if they did not do this investigation and freeze this account a long time before now, why not wait until after the elections? Why do it on the eve of the elections? You know, I mean, as it appears, that's number one. Number two for me is why is it Osun State alone? Why are they not beaming their searchlight on every other state? Because what you are accusing Osun State of doing, if it is true that Osun State has diverted public funds into private accounts, I do not support that. Okay, I mean, but two wrongs don't make a right. And the question is that the only state? Why are you investigating just Osun? All the other APC states, why are you not investigating them? We see what this government has been doing in terms of moving money. We've seen the budget padding. We've seen all kinds of things that have been, thrown up. Why is the EFCC not going, after the government, after the federal government? Why is it concentrating attention in Osun? That's unfortunate. And it's all obvious to us when we look at the things that have been going on in Osun State. You can almost tell that it is an attempt to install their own. It is an attempt to install Oyetola, the nephew, and as well as the candidate of the APC for Osun State, and that's unfair. Okay, now the EFCC by doing this is also joining hands, with the government or with their instructors to destabilize the state, to destabilize the country at this very sensitive time. So for me, it's a no-no. It's a no-no. And with the EFCC telling us that, oh, it's carrying out investigation, can we see what this investigation is all about? Can we see the results of this investigation? Can these people, okay, can you give them an opportunity to answer for themselves? And then my own question is, I don't know, I'm not a lawyer. I do not think that the EFCC has the right to freeze an account on their own without having a court order, for that. I don't understand it. I don't think that's what it is. So these are all the issues that one needs to look at. It is obvious that it is an attempt to frustrate, the government of Adeleke in Osun State, and to forcefully, through the back door, install their own stooge. And that's unfortunate.
Okay. Thank you very much, Sumbo. So we are going to the article from the Guardian newspaper that says coalition urges DSS to arrest activists over alleged threat to national security. You know, some weeks ago, Omoyele Showore was arrested because he called the president a criminal. And now, because he of his activities, his protest, they are saying, oh, he's threatening national security because the theme of his protests are basically revolution now, or he says the take it back movement. And he staged protests yesterday in Lagos, Abuja, and other parts of the country over worsening economic hardship, insecurity, inflation, and what the organizers described as political repression under the current administration. The process,
Hello,
sorry,
go ahead.
the protest held under the banner of the Festival of the Oppressed saw demonstrators in both cities calling for urgent government action on the issues affecting Nigeria. So my question, I have three questions for you now, Sumbo. Do you think Omoyele Sowore as a presidential candidate for the 2027 election is right or is within his right to stage protests against the current sitting administration? Do you think that is part of his duties as the opposition? And do you think this protest will have any effect on the upcoming 2027 presidential elections?
Number one, it's an absolute yes. He's a Nigerian citizen. Whether it's also a presidential candidate or not, it's within his fundamental human rights to protest, to lead a peaceful protest, as long as there's no violence involved. It's the right of any Nigerian to come and lead a protest. The current president himself was a master at that. So That's a yeah, an absolute yes. Secondly, do I think what's the second question? It is his duty. Okay.
Yes.
If it is his right, it can also be his duty. It's a duty that he has chosen for himself. But then, as an aggrieved Nigerian, it is his duty. When you see error and you don't say anything about it, you are complicit. So yeah, it's a duty that he has decided, to go into for himself for the sake of country, as far as he's concerned. And then finally, do I think that the protests will have an effect on the coming elections and all of that? That's a tough one to answer, because it can neither be here nor there. Number one, I do not think Showore has the critical mass, of followers and of protesters who would join him to make an appreciable impact. Okay, so that's one. I don't see how many people follow him to do that and all of that. But also, secondly, is the fact that you cannot put it at an absolute no. It might be, the impact might be negligible, but there may be one, two, three persons, okay, who by virtue of his post protest will have a change of mind as to who to vote in. Do you get what I'm talking about? So it might be a negligible impact, but the action can sway a few persons. So for me, yeah, I don't have any problem against Yowore protesting at all. It's within his fundamental human rights to do so. And he might be protesting with a march. The truth of the matter is that all the opposition are also protesting in one way or the other. They're coming out to speak. Atiku is coming out to speak, is going to court and all of that. Likewise, the NDC, all of them in one way or the other are making a protest. It's just that Showore is the one who's taking to the streets.
Okay. So you mentioned the other opposition members protesting in various manners now. Ever since I've known Showore, he has always been protesting. So I'm even going to keep him aside from this question. I want to ask you, do you think, because now we see articles picking up, just yesterday we saw that Wike said that in as much as we feel the president is not doing anything, he inherited a bad economy, yes, but do we know things can't be changed overnight? They see the plight of Nigerians, and the president is actually working on it. He commended the president for few reforms, and he said we might not see the impact now, but the president is working. We see article come out to say this probe, that probe. Peter Obi says this probe, that probe. Do you feel that it's just because the elections are soon? We are in August, the elections are in January next year. Do you think it's because elections are coming up very soon? The opposition is vocal now. Because before we used to wonder, why are these people not talking? They used to be kind of silent, not totally silent, but well, not as vocal as now. Do you ascribe this to the upcoming elections, or do you think that they are just doing their job as the opposition?
Well, we've had a very, very weak opposition, from the moment the APC took over power. Okay, not just the Tinubu days, but even when Buhari was there. I mean, the opposition was poor. And the reason for that was that the main party that could have been in the opposition, that could have been the leader of the opposition, which is the PDP, was infiltrated and disrupted from within, so while they were managing their internal crisis, they really didn't have the time, to focus on country. So that was a major problem, and that led us, it would then appear that every other opposition party was at inertia. Well, they say that whatever time you wake up is your morning. So if now they are beginning to, play the role of the opposition, kudos to them. But yeah, they began that late. I don't know whether the reason why they are now protesting, they are now, doing the needful is because elections are, upcoming, of course, trying to make their voice heard. But I think that the challenge was that a number of the opposition parties were in disarray, and the APC, the government of the day, had their own way of distracting them, of disrupting them, and all of that. So I can kind of say that the fightings without, or the fightings within, did not even allow them to pay attention. But all is good. They are doing something now, so that's okay. That's fair enough.
Okay, so coming back to the issue of Showore's arrest, tentative arrest by the DSS, a coalition of civil society organizations were the ones who called on the DSS to arrest Showore over what they described as an alleged threat to Nigeria's national security. The demand was made yesterday during a rally in Abuja. Addressing supporters, the national chairman of Nigeria Citizens Watch for Good Governance commended President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration for its renewed hope agenda and praised the approval of a new national minimum wage, saying the government should be allowed to implement the policy without distractions. The coalition also passed a vote of confidence in Tinubu, whom they credited with strengthening the country's fight against terrorism, banditry, and other security threats. But the group urged the DSS to arrest Showore, alleging that his activities pose a threat to national security. So the question here is that these people have come out to say Omoyele Showore parades himself as an activist, but is a merchant of chaos. This civil society should be for the people, because even government in the first place, when we define democracy in layman terms, we say government of the people, for the people, and by the people. So this national, the Nigerian Citizens Watch for Good Governance should be for the people. They should watch what is going on for the betterment of Nigerians. So their president coming out to say Tinubu is doing well. They have commended his administration. Is all well and good. Each person has his or her own opinion. But do you think, Sumbo, that this society should have or should be pushing for the arrest of Showore because he is protesting against the sitting administration?
My dear sister, in the state in which we are in now, everybody is all about stomach infrastructure. Okay, and the government of the day knows how to pay its own. And my first question would be, what has Showore done, or what is Showore doing that constitutes a security threat? Matching with how many, what numbers of people? Yeah, but I don't understand it. As far as I'm concerned, they are helping to give Showore a name. They are helping to put Showore in the media by their own acts. Because I don't see the threat that Showore poses to the national security of this nation. I don't see it. I don't know what they are saying. Every time you drag the gentleman to the court, and then he goes there, he comes out again. I think that the government and their handlers, I don't think they understand what they're doing. And I think that they should concentrate that energy, that effort into doing, what they are expected to do, into doing the work of nation building, and generally looking towards alleviating, the pains of the people. And I think they should leave Showore alone. I don't see what threat it constitutes to this to the security of this nation.
All right. Thank you very much, Sumbo, for that contribution. The phone lines are now open. You can call us on 07000 or 09155 or 0800 We have a call. Hello, good morning, Francis.
Yeah, good morning, Nena. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Hello? Okay, good morning, Sumbo. Welcome.
Good morning. How are you today?
Well, I'm good, I'm good. You see, what I know and every other person in this country can do back my idea that this government has bought over every section, judiciary, army, police, see the people what you call them, civil society of Nigeria supporting evil. Can you see that the devil have sealed their conscience, their good conscience, and now permit them to focus on the evil conscience against Nigerians? So, although this is not or two state, because it's not a APC state, they seal their account. But Adele came done something more than what every other state are doing. I thought that can travel to anywhere and that this Nigeria concerns me because I'm a Nigerian and born to this nation. Otherwise, I don't have stretches myself. God will judge everyone according to our deeds. Thank you.
All right,
Thank you, Evangelist.
thanks for your call. Ajayi Olushoga says EFCC didn't freeze Ekiti State accounts before the election, but since Oshu is in the opposition, they have carried out this illegality. Hope they will freeze the federal and all state accounts before the 2027 elections. When we talk of the monumental error this government has become in less than 4 years, supporters of abnormality will rush forward to start defending them. That's from Ajayi Olushoga from Odonla, Ikorodu. Okay, so Stumbo, let's take the last headline for today. It's 3 minutes past 8 this beautiful Thursday morning, Thursday the 6th of August 2026. And you're tuned into Women Radio WFM 91.7. We are live on YouTube at WFM 917, and you can listen to us on the go via our website www.wfm917.com. You can send a text message, a WhatsApp message, or a voice note to 07000 07031 756 or 08155 You can call us on 07000 or 0800 Okay, so Sumba, this article is from the Daily Trust newspaper that reads Kwara abductees regain freedom after 6 months in captivity. Well, this is good news because they were abducted 6 months in captivity. And let it be noted that not all Kwara State abductees were released. We still have other people from Kwara State still with their abductors. And we still have the school children from Borno State. Yeah, from Borno still in the hands of their captors. Somebody, are you saying something?
Well, reacting to that, for me, it's also almost in the same spirit as this issue of what do you call it now? This issue of freezing accounts. Well, first and foremost, let me commend the efforts of government. They have a slang in Nigeria among the young people. At all, naim bad. And I've just said ahead, so it's better late than never. Whatever time you wake up is your morning and all of that. But because we're Nigerians, we have seen enough and we understand ourselves, we understand the psychology of government at times. My question is, why did it take them 6 months? And why all of a sudden, are we seeing, a positive, as it were, positive efforts in this regard? Is it because elections are coming also that we are now doubling efforts so that it will become one of our campaign, points that, oh, this number of people that were kidnapped were released, 176 persons in captivity for 6 months. A lot of damage has been done to them. A lot of damage that may never be repairable. Okay. So for me, yes, I mean, we'll still say people will still rejoice that they are having their family members back from captivity, and then they'll take it up from there. But what concerns me is, why did it have to take so long? What did the government do now that it couldn't have done 6 months ago when these people were adopted? That's my question. So while we applaud the effort, we can also interrogate, why do we have such delays? Why, people will stay in captivity for 2 months, 3 months, 6 months before the state goes to their rescue? That that
No,
that
but
that's my own feel.
Hello, good morning, Madam Allocation.
it's Sumbo, not Adetun.
Okay,
Good
Madam.
morning.
You this morning.
Good morning.
Yeah. My going to Christmas night was a request to return to the best, Yeah. Only this meeting just for to appreciate some persons. I don't know if you can hear me because the network has been even the radio is hearing it.
Yeah.
Okay. I would just appreciate the current leadership of EFCC. The climate to in the south of our having military men sincerely acting from 30%, from 80%. That was a good money. Yet, more to be done. And it's to be known that when we enter, hopefully, we that are looking to build Nigeria, all military personnel children should be able to have free education through our administration. I'm speaking from my work as an opposition. The salary is not enough. It is in during the electional campaign period. We don't have any issue. Thank you for doing that for us. We will make better Nigeria. Secondly, I want to appreciate the federal government. They said rescue those people they released yesterday, or we saw in the picture yesterday. When the English word rescue comes to an ear or to a layman, he believes that there should be some kind of combat. In the process of combating, there should have been some injuries and some fatal either side. But rescue in Nigeria, the end of the day is that the man that was released some days ago, they know who paid 50 million was paid after the rescue. And the one they had was rescued. So how can we define this word rescue in Nigeria context so that people will not be, because this is going to be part of the national campaign. They are going to be facing campaign. Yes, they simply use the word to the thing, whatever, so like, was used as a point of campaigning. I want to ask the analyst this way. Construction of road, building of school, building of classrooms, and building of communities, installation of lights, and high implement. I want to know with our achievements that Nigeria constitution in the normal state society. I want to know if those highlighted and others are part of the right of a citizen. So I want to know this. Lastly, for me, also, the shenanigans going on concerning the family over the state agency. I want to appreciate him for having the courage like somebody like me. Denying the fact that he is not ready to give closed door verification. And he wants everything to be done openly as other people were interrogated openly. I want to beg that man to stand by his word, no matter the intimidation. If you like, our answer is please, elections were conducted some weeks ago, some months ago. I think in this year we have about two elections, governorship elections. Where there closing of accounts over those accounts, why is certain state different? Why the interest? Why do you choose to pass? I want to let Osun people. It's just weight loss. A weight loss on the 15th of this month. Osun people know what to do. We see the bomb is not going on. And the mathematics need to be even to his own brother, Davido. Stop the blogger. Let it be a free contest. Closing of citizens of this account. Instead of not cheap accounts. Somebody his tenure has not ended. You see in the office, there is a political election coming on to take the account. My office is still it's not election. You did not do it to other people that may so why would people raise people? Give the rest of the answer. Have a nice day.
Thank you, Prince, for
Well, I'm sorry.
today. So, my dear
I didn't hear
Prince,
I didn't hear what he said, so the network was terrible. I couldn't make a head or tail of what he was saying, so it's difficult for me to respond to him.
okay, then he was just speaking on the Osun State, for the frozen account of the Osun State government, among a host of other things. But anyway, you were speaking before he called. Can you please conclude your point?
Oh, well, I think that I was more or less done.
Okay, so we were talking about abducted Kwara, the abducted Kwara people, the
Yeah,
6 people who were freed, and Sumba was like, why this time after 6 months of them being freed? Like the Orire school children, when they were released, questions came up. Were these people released? Was it a rescue operation, or was it through negotiations? Because authorities are yet to disclose the details of the operation. As of first time, multiple community sources told the Daily Trust that security personnel backed by military hardware had moved into the forest earlier in the day before news of the victims' freedom filtered into the community. And what is shocking about this 176 people being freed? See, I'm all for people being freed, good developments, at least they go back to their families. But it is the people from the Woro community. I mean, no disrespect, however, it is pronounced. and also few people from the Nuku community who were freed. Round Kwara states, there have been other abductions from different local governments, different communities, but it seemed like the abduction of the Woro community was the loudest in Kwara State. And now they are the ones who were released. Sumba, what say you about this? Does it scream hanky panky? Or do you think, oh well, at least some set of people were released or rescued, as it may be?
Well, 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 the truth of the matter is we must praise, I mean, I would be the first to admit that, okay, even the little, that is done should attract our appreciation, so to speak. So for me, it really doesn't matter who is rescued as long as people are rescued. The charge that I would give is that, okay, with the same effort that you put towards rescuing the people of Woro and all this, this set of people who were just released, put in that effort and even much more, into the cases of other abductees. Let the government not, stop its efforts. Rather, let the government intensify, the efforts that they are making, and the country will be glad for it. So for me, I don't have a problem with where they start from, who they, that you would always start from somewhere. Okay, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with one step. So that for me is it. But now speaking about, the style or the means of getting these abductees released, whether it was a security effort on the part of the security agencies, or whether it was a response to the payment of ransom. That's the $1 million question. You are never going to find out the answer from the government, because the government will always insist that they don't pay ransom. But of course, we have information from other other stakeholders to the situations, who come and tell us that, look, this is what happened, ransom was paid. So you and I know that for majority of these operations, the money exchange hands. But if we're waiting for the government to come and, attest to that, or to come and confirm or confess that, oh, we did pay ransom, I think we're going to wait for a lifetime. So whatever government does, I think right now, what we should be concerned about is that our people are coming out of captivity.
Yes. On the grand in the grand scheme of things, our people are coming out of captivity, and we should be happy about that. We should focus on that. But yet we still have more people in captivity. People from the same Kwara state. We have the Borno school children, and I'm pleading this morning to the government to ensure that they are released. So we're going to take a voice note and a message before we go this morning, because our time is fast spent. Okay, we're having issues playing the voice notes. Let me take the message before that. Morning to you in the studio on the EFCC and Osun State government issue. My question is, why is Osun State government yet to pay July salary and we are in August? And if it's true that some money is being transferred into some corporate account, I think there is nothing wrong if the account is frozen. If there is suspicious activities, the account can be temporarily frozen. We all know if they have moved out of the money and it's fraud, it will be difficult to recover. And I think for this election, Osun State does not need money. It's only INEC that needs the money to spend in this situation. And I believe if the Osun State citizens still love the governor, they will vote for him without collecting money, and they will return him as their governor, even with the state accounts being frozen. We outside the state of Osun, we don't need to cry more than the bereaved. From additional Wasiu in Ikodu. Sumba, quickly, do you have anything to say about that message?
That's a simpleton's way of responding to that situation. When you say to me that I doesn't need money for elections, it's INEC that needs money for election. What is the federal government itself doing? Is the federal government not moving funds and moving a lot of money and buying here and buying there, to get? We all know that elections in this country cost money. Now, apart from giving money to people buying voters, there are logistics, issues to tackle and all of that. So I think it's highly, it's a simplistic manner of trying to judge the situation. Let the government release, let them. And now some people are saying that the pay salary of May or whatever has not been paid. So if you freeze their funds, where is the money supposed to be coming from? So, I would advocate for their monies to be released. When their monies are released and then the government is failing in its own duty of paying salaries and anything like that, then the people, that they govern, the people of the state can then protest and begin to make a case for themselves. You don't use the freezing of their money to punish an entire state. It doesn't make sense.
Anyway, thank you very much, Sumbo, for your wonderful contribution to the discussion. Today we have run out of time. You were listening to the voice is of myself, Hassani Matula, and our analyst, Sumbo, this morning on the Daily News Review program on Women Radio WFM 91.7. From Sumbo and I, have a very wonderful day today. Good morning.
Good morning, Lagos.